Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Freshly Grounded. No, I'm joking.
Freshly grounded, that is crazy.
Brother, we're running out of time.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Akhihood podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Over to you.
It's called
Bismillah.
Couch Talks, Bismillah. So today, brothers, we're going to be talking about something that's very important, and it's sins that are normalised. And what I mean by that is we overlook these sins. We think it's minor, like it's not big of a problem because society's accepted it. And me personally, I don't know about you guys, but like maturing and growing up, I realized that Islam doesn't restrict us from these things, it protects us. So, for example, something like riba, it protects you from debt. Or something like backbiting and gossiping, it protects you from ruining relationships. Or let's say something like not praying. It makes you futile, do you know what I mean? You just become useless without prayer. I'm going to start off with the first question. What are some worldly benefits of letting go of sins? And I'm going to start with the answer with this one because I like my answer and I don't want you guys to beat me to it. So I'm going to say...
I didn't even hear the question.
It's what worldly benefits of...
In my head, I'm still bugging out at how dead my introduction was.
It's calm. So yeah,
we use the one for episode 4.
Yeah, so worldly benefits of letting go of sins. What I mean by that is obviously letting go of sins in the akhirah, like we earn ajr and whatnot, and we are forgiven for these sins. But in terms of this life, whether it's physical, mental, whatever it is, these things, I'm going to start with overcoming lust. I think it was Ibn Qayyim rahimallah, he said that the death of the heart is caused by lack of reckoning oneself and following one's desires. So zina is so common and normalized, it's very difficult to avoid it, especially in like the society we live in. Very, very difficult, where everything's normalized. And I feel like if you were to train your brain how to overcome something like lust, you'll be able to overcome anything. Because as we know, one of the biggest fitness for us is something like lust, zina. It's very difficult in this day and age especially. So I feel like if we were to overcome that, the biggest benefit we'll take from it is we'll overcome anything, any challenge in our lives, we can take it on.
Are you talking about like lust and desires, yeah?
Yeah. So
How do you overcome it?
that's maybe another question. But I'm talking about the world, like what you would benefit from actually overcoming it. I would say overcoming it from like a personal perspective would be you have to discipline yourself. Mentally, you have to. What I would do is I would force myself to think of what would happen if I was to die in a state of zina, for example, or die in a state of, even someone that's an alcoholic. Imagine dying in that state, being resurrected in that state. And I would put fear into my heart. I would tell myself these things. I would tell my brain these things. And I would literally just...
Yeah, my stomach's rumbling.
Stomach's rumbling.
Yeah, my stomach's rumbling. It happens, isn't it? I'm hungry.
But yeah, disciplining yourself mentally. But it just depends on the person. Some people are able to like put fear into their own hearts. Some people have to learn it the hard way. Whatever that is, it just depends on the person. That's something you would have to... It's your own adventure. Put it that way. You have to go and find it out for yourself.
I think when it comes to like lust and your desires, etc., I think I don't want to quote anyone because I don't know where I heard it from, but I remember there was a speaker and what he was saying is the Prophet ﷺ used to encourage people to get married young, and this is one of the reasons as to why. And I think if you're unable to get married, and I'm all for, I'm saying it even though I'm not married, but I'm all for brothers getting married young, and I think it's needed, to be honest. And when they say, oh, I don't have money, etc., I think that's just us looking at excuses. I think there's always ways around it. Okay, it might be difficult, but what marriage is easy? You would be able to give us a better insight. Not to say your marriage is not easy, but you're married, so you'd be able to give us a better insight into that. But yeah, what marriage is easy, And I think if you're unable to get married for whatever reason, then fast. That's one way I think you're able to discipline yourself, and not just fast as in terms of fasting, in terms of not eating, but in terms of the way you speak, in terms of the actions you do,
And what you see as well.
Exactly, what you see as well, definitely. So I think that's one solution, or two solutions. But what do you guys think?
I mean, just touching upon the topic of lust and zina in general, I think there's a famous quote from a Kurdish man named Salah ad-Din Ayyubi.
Oh, okay.
And the famous quote goes as, if you ever want to destroy a nation, make nudity or zina common amongst the young folk. And when we look at today's age, Gen X, Y, Z, or whatever you call it, it's a huge thing, whether it's on your phone or it's on the street or if you hear it. And it's a sign of Yom Qiyamah, if I'm not mistaken, that, zina will be prevalent in public and people won't care or have that shyness or shame. So it's definitely an ongoing issue in terms of today's Muslims. I don't have the knowledge much so on the Muslims of the past, but I know it's an ongoing issue, and like you mentioned before, the best remedies to it is to either get married or practice the fast. So
That's not to say like marriage will solve all your problems, by the way. You still have to, discipline yourself, definitely. And I'm against bringing your problems into a marriage beforehand. You shouldn't bring extra baggage into a marriage. But I do think marriage does help you in some sense when it comes to your desires,
None of you answered the question.
no,
You
it's
just added on to
it's
my
a
point.
it's a worldly benefit that marriage is. Marriage is a worldly benefit.
What was your question?
You wanted them to give.
What
other
is a
examples.
worldly benefit of letting go of sins? So my
Yeah.
example was letting go of lust, your desires. You'll be able to overcome anything.
Okay, after Ayub's answer, I'll give an answer that will answer your
Fair
question.
enough. Fair enough.
But I want him to. I feel like he was about to say something.
That's why I saved him, because I wanted him to answer the question.
As in terms of like benefits of
Yeah.
being
So
married.
so for example, no, not just marriage, any sin. So for example, letting go of alcohol.
Wait, don't give normal examples. You're about to take mine.
Was you on alcohol?
No, mine's gambling.
Okay, I'll just say one. Okay, I was gonna say gambling as well, but I'll let you take that one. Alcohol, for example, your health.
Mm.
Backbiting, for example, and gossiping, it can ruin relationships. So avoiding that will avoid ruining relationships.
That's true.
Those are examples.
I think you like in general. Okay, let's just say general sins, right? When you do let go of them, one of the benefits that you already touched upon is discipline. I think another one is peace of mind, and I think a third one is not feeling remorse and regret. So if you're a constant sinner, you might be in a constant state of regret, constant state of remorse. Whereas when you let that go, you're at peace with yourself, both mentally and physically, but most importantly, spiritually. So I think that's
Thank you
a
for answering
way
the
to put it.
question.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, then.
If you're wondering why I'm recording this, because if you don't follow us on Instagram, I've just posted an update. And if you're not following us on Instagram, then that's a problem. Follow us.
Follow us.
Yeah, so I was going to say gambling.
Yeah.
Repeat the question one more time. I know I've asked you 3 times, but...
Worldly benefits of letting go of sins.
Yeah, so gambling, of course, is a sin. You let go of it, you ain't going to be in debt. You ain't going to be losing money. Simple as that.
You're gonna save money.
Yeah, you're gonna save money. Gambling 9 times out of 10, you lose that money. Not that I would know, but generally looking from the outside, how many people lose their money through gambling and betting, and I believe it's haram for a reason. So that's definitely one. But another sin, I guess, if you let go of, is making false promises, which is something more common. Giving your word that I'm gonna get something done or do something at.
I'll get you a hot chocolate.
Oh, no, not that. But generally speaking, you give your word, like, I'm gonna do this at this time, blah blah blah, or giving your word that you're gonna do something. Now, if you've now broken that promise, not only have you got the sin for breaking a promise, we've also got the sin for lying. My sheikh was telling me this yesterday when I spoke with him. Don't give promises that you can't keep. Don't commit to something you can't commit to.
Yeah.
Be honest with the person, and if they don't understand your honesty, then that's on them. But at least you've covered your back by being honest. There's an Ustad. I don't know if I should say his name. It's not a bad story, nothing like that. But a well-known Ustad in the UK. He doesn't commit to giving talks because he knows his schedule is crazy. He will just never commit to it.
Yeah.
It's very rare. If he's committed to it, he knows he has to do it. But he doesn't commit to it because his sheikh always told him, don't make a commitment you can't stick to. Because if you break that commitment, you've broken a promise, you've got the sin, you've made a lie, you've got the sin. And I think it's a really nice example. Just commit to what you can. I know I've gone on a tangent again from your question.
I agree. No,
But yeah, commit to what you can. And if you can't, don't commit to it. Save yourself from falling into that sin. Over to you.
Wait, before you say that,
Not over
yes,
to you.
yes, that adding on to it is it will improve your relationship with people as well, because you'll be very honest.
Yeah.
People take your word.
Yeah.
People trust
Yeah.
you more. And also adding on to the gambling one, it's them ones where if you lose the money, then you've lost money. But if you win, okay, it sounds like it's good. But then let's say someone bets £10, they gamble £10, they win £50. You become so obsessed with winning, like astaghfirullah, it becomes like a god for you. That money, that act becomes like a rab for you, where you worship it. And you will spend all your money on that gambling until you lose everything.
And that money's haram anyway.
It's haram.
And
literally. There's no barakah
it
in
will go so far.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you guys have, I'm careful how I say this, but since Akhihood, alhamdulillah, the money I've made, whether it's small or a lot, but mainly when it's small, it lasts. And when I need money, subhanAllah, it just comes from places I don't like. I needed money like the other week, just by chance. My insurance company, they refunded me £160. Like, okay, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you know when you're desperate and you just get £160, like, where's that come from? It just comes from places that you don't expect it. And when you're gambling and you're doing haram and you you earn that money through haram, bro, that money will disappear so fast that you will never see any benefits in it.
I think it's value as well. People lose
Yeah.
the value of money, how important it is. I've heard stories where someone was like, it's got a family of five, sorry, right? And their washer soap lasts the whole year. Even though it's a normal bottle, but it just somehow lasts the whole year. And there's even barakah in that, because they might not make so much money, but he doesn't have to go constantly to go buy something new. Something that they buy through halal means lasts, and there's barakah in it.
I remember it's so funny, it's a dishwasher. I remember even my petrol. You know, you can see the miles.
Yeah.
Tell me, why was my miles going up? Like my range was going up while I'm driving. I'm like, okay, I know if you drive well, your miles per gallon increases, etc. But I wasn't driving well, so I don't understand. Like, why is my range going up? And it's not to say like that disclaimer. Oh, I do this and I do that. You know, I deserve it. Nothing like that. It's just I've noticed, alhamdulillah, the benefits that Allah has put upon me, and alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for it. So this is not me like bigging myself up. I have to put that disclaimer out there, but it's just you recognize it, and when you recognize it, you just want to encourage others to gain your money through goodness.
You lot pretty much all talking about answers, but one thing that didn't get mentioned, I think, is addiction. Whether that's addiction to harmful substances or addiction to wasting your time, but I'll focus more on the substances. If somebody is addicted to, drugs or, watching stuff online, that's clearly haram. Once they let go of that and they overcome that, you'll instantly see an improve in their mental and physical health, especially if it's to do with drugs. I think you find in most people that tend to recover from cases where it's like, hard illegal drugs and stuff like that, they see a change in their life where the people around them, like they see of them a lot more. Their social life becomes better, their economical life gets better. So yeah, I think overcoming addiction is a huge one. And one thing that probably is quite prevalent that people don't realize is an addiction to wasting time. I know we've mentioned it in previous podcasts before where, people are addicted to social media and whatnot. And I think when something in our religion like, dhikr is advised to, make the tongue wet on dhikr, and it's important how we spend our time. So yeah, I'd say definitely addiction. Like when you let go of addiction, you'll see benefits everywhere.
Agreed. Now the next question is a good one, and I think all our answers will be very similar. It's about cultural practices and how they have a part to play in normalizing sins. I could tell everyone's face. They're like, yeah, it's mad.
It's because I remember we spoke about this.
There
we go.
Okay, I'm gonna let you take the baton as far as said.
In episode, was that one?
I don't even know at this point. I've lost count.
I think it was episode 1.
Episode 1.
Was that episode?
Yeah, it was episode
1.
It may have been 2.
In 2, he said something about battalion or something.
Yeah.
That
Lead the
was
battalion.
jokes.
That was episode 2.
That was hilarious.
Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
It's not like I watched it yesterday. What do you think?
So questions on
cultural practices, how they have a part to play in normalizing sins.
Oh, now North Africans are gonna hate me if I say these things.
Say it, bro. You can even name the sin as well.
No. Okay, so I think it varies, but free mixing I think is quite common in some North African cultures. I'm gonna stick to Morocco. So in Morocco, there's a region in the north called Tanja. They're one of the very few places in Morocco where they don't have free mixed weddings, which is quite good. But it's just like very, very normal to have a free mixed wedding everywhere else around the country. There's another phrase that Moroccans say, right? So apparently there's a river in Jahannam called Luil, and when Moroccans react to something bad, they'll be like willy 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 willy, right? And then they would say, yeah, halif is like say Allah. They would say that, and as soon as they say that, they say astaghfirullah al-adim. So immediately say something. So they're just like talking about a river in Jahannam, and then they say astaghfirullah al-adim. It's like your immediate reaction to being something bad shouldn't be that, but that's just like, again, that's a cultural norm. I'm trying to think of other things.
Can you do the thing again? What did you do?
Okay, it's done now. People can rewind. There's that. I think the free mix, and another one is backbiting, but that can be across many cultures. People really enjoy talking about others over a cup of ete, minty. Do you know what I mean?
Where have we heard that from? Latte.
Booster.
Oh my God, Bosnia.
Booster.
Latte. I hate that. I'm sorry.
You need to give some context because you just like.
You hate that. Have you seen how you drink your tea?
No, but latte. It's
So
the word.
I think that's okay. So
latte.
we've got backbiting, free mixing. I'm just gonna stick to those two, even though there's a longer list, but we'll stick to those two.
For me, I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. You know that blue eye thing?
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about that?
Nazar.
I remember there was this one guy. I was like, I'm not going to mention his name. Allah guide him in it.
I mean,
He would tell me, like, I would tell him it's haram. Yeah, and this is shirk. You're relying on something to protect you from hasad. And he was asking me, no, I just like the design. I said, okay, no problem. I'm going to hang a cross in my house. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I like the design. I like crosses. Is there a problem with that? He was like, no, but that's it. I was like, what's the difference? I was like, what's the difference? I was like, I'll hang it up.
And you say it and start drinking water.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I told him, I was like, I like the shape of crosses. I'm going to hang it up on my ceiling, on my roof. It's like, come. He went, no, it's different, it's different. Took about a week or two or whatever. I was there. I took every one of them. As far as saw the video as well, do you remember?
Yeah.
I took it to the bin shoot and with a hammer. I felt so cold. And you know in Kung Fu Panda when he smashes the sledge, he goes, "Whoo!" Have you heard that part? I just felt that come out. I dashed all in the bin.
oh, I know exactly what you're talking about when he's in the main
The museum thing, yeah. Ooh, that one.
I don't
And
watch
then-
cartoons. I'm sorry. I just don't remember that scene.
You know when he's talking about when you spoke about, oh, have you seen how you drink tea, Kung Fu Panda? We need those snippets of like him drinking tea from a cup,
Yeah,
no,
definitely.
from a plate. Sorry, I exposed.
That might be a fucking culture, though.
Shawarma people. There's a
Yeah,
culture
yeah,
thing, yeah.
it's a
Shawarma
cultural
people with
thing.
the little sugar cube as well. But yeah, that is something that's another normalized sin. That's something that's very dangerous. Relying upon an amulet,
Yeah.
relying on that to protect you from hasad. Like Banu Quraysh were known to do that as well. Having statues and like, come on, man.
And that's something normalized too. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
an emoji
normalised.
of it, and like
Yeah, man, it's mad. Wallah, it's haram.
Yeah, if you type, I think evil eye.
That's the thing that
Yeah,
pops
that's
up.
what
Yeah.
comes up. Yeah.
So what would you guys go for? I think it would probably be the
I'll let
same,
you-
innit? Free mixing and stuff.
You went last time, so you ran out of answers. I'll let you go.
probably say in my culture, probably music. Whether it's a wedding or a gathering, you always tend to find music. Also, probably say backbiting as well. Coffee is very prevalent in my culture. You sit down, everybody's drinking coffee in small cups and stuff, and that's usually the moment in time where something will get said that someone might regret later on. Another thing too, I'd probably say is that's really specific to East Africa. We have a huge problem with FGM, and if you don't know what that is,
Oh,
It's-
I know that is, yeah.
do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay,
We won't go
it's-
into detail of it, though.
It stands for.
No, chill. We don't.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
we
not-
don't-
It's not a deep. It's
it's-
not a
it might be a bit graphic.
Let me whisper it.
Just
take it as
just
you
kind of
go.
fast, just
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that fine to say or not?
Just it's a bit graphic. Just carry on, fast. Just carry on.
Okay, but
FGM,
yeah,
FGM's an
FGM,
issue in our cultures, and it's like it's a thing that Western media has tried to ascribe to Islam just because our countries are prevalent with Muslims, but that's not the case, and yeah, just it's really bad.
It's kind of been mentioned. Free mixing, music, like even like weddings are crazy. Like it's you know how Asians do weddings, you know, in the UK. especially. If you knew what that meant, not really, but but yeah, yeah, it makes it difficult, you know. Like
Yeah.
even like on the build up to a wedding, we'll have something called a mendi or a dolki night, yeah, which is literally just either the bride side or the groom side just having a night of music
Yeah.
and just dancing and just
It's been normalized, isn't it?
it's just it's normal in culture, and
Yeah.
it makes it harder for those who are, not to say they're not practicing, but those who are who don't want to go down that route of
Yeah.
when it
They're
comes
cultural.
to marriage.
They're
Yeah,
very
it
cultural.
makes it harder for them because
Yeah.
then your family or your grandparents or your cousins or whoever it may be will have that influence in your marriage and say no, let's have this event, let's have that, and it's just harder to say I don't want that. Although it's your wedding,
Yeah.
more time
Yeah.
they will always have an influence, you know.
Yeah.
And it just makes it difficult. But in terms of in general life, just listening to music, I think is massive in our culture. Desi's love their music.
I could have sworn you're Algerian.
Oh my
I'm joking, carry on.
You did this like 2 episodes ago to me as well.
Yeah.
So, name one sin and its impact on the Muslim community. I'm going to start this one because mine's going to be very quick. Zina, it can lead to broken homes. Because let's say a married man, him committing zina would be him committing adultery, like cheating on his wife. And that would literally ruin a family. And it would ruin its stability, its structure. Broken home. It's done.
There's a really long-term effect.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
On the child.
Definitely.
There's children involved.
Definitely.
Does the sin we mentioned have to specifically be about Muslims or in general? Like
Just the Muslim community. We don't care about other community. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's about how it affects the Muslim community.
okay,
Yeah. So yeah, zina also it builds distrust. If someone's been known to commit zina, for example, the trust between their family and let's say his in-laws to be won't be there. They wouldn't trust him or her. It just causes a lot of problems. People think it's just a one-time thing. He's committed zina, that's it. But it can literally like destroy families. It can ruin families and homes.
Okay, yeah. One sin that comes to mind in our communities that's a problem, I definitely say is violence, but not so violence like domestic abuse, even though that is bad. Meaning like murder, like knife crime is crazy prevalent in all our communities. I think it's a huge problem here in London specifically. Everybody loves to quote that, saying that, you take one life, it's like taking the whole of humanity. Everybody loves to say it, but do we talk about it? Do we like preach it to our children, to our elders? It doesn't. Like knife crime is a bigger problem than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's even more so of a problem in Muslim communities, where you have a brother from Somalia killing somebody from Albania, when you have somebody who's Bangladeshi looking to kill anybody who's from Pakistan, like, it makes zero sense. And the fact that it's a youth problem,
I don't mean to laugh.
yeah, it's cool now.
Because you looked at me as Pakistan.
I was just thinking of a different country, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's a problem in not only in the youth, but it's a Muslim problem, if we're being
Yeah.
honest.
I think it's about embodying, what you said. How everyone says, it's like killing the whole of humanity. If you don't embody it, you can't really preach it. Like you can't make that a reality. One thing I think, and it's a taboo subject because people don't like talking about it. Simple as that. People don't like admitting that they may have it. But I know the majority of viewers we have are brothers, and they'll probably be affected by it the most. But it's an addiction to pornography. People don't like talking about it, but I guess this is what this podcast is for, to
Yeah.
talk about the things that people don't like talking about. And that addiction that a brother may have, or even a sister, but we're talking about brothers today, will destroy you. Destroy your family, and I think it destroys communities.
Yeah.
It is disgusting. It is ridiculous. And we need to really help brothers move away from it. It breaks homes. It really does. When a brother is so addicted to watching these things, and then when they get married, they're not able to separate from something fake to reality, it's a problem. It affects the wife when they're not able to now have children because of whatever. Then they're not. It's not become easy for them to do their business. It becomes problems. The wife might now blame herself. Oh, I'm not able to have kids, but in reality, it might be the brother's fault. That destroys homes. It's something we really need to move away from.
Yeah.
I believe it destroys people's self-esteem as well. I believe it destroys their
Even
does it
physically,
not,
even physically, mentally,
in
everything.
terms of the brain. Doesn't it do something to the brain as well? I'm sure it does.
Doesn't matter.
Scientifically, I'm
It's
sure.
there's the addictive element to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
it,
you're hooked up to something.
people don't realize it's destroying you.
Mm.
You're
obsessed with it.
There's nothing good about it. Yeah, it's completely destroying you.
It will have impact, testosterone, your self-esteem, just general
Mental health.
confidence as well.
Mm.
Just like you're going down a route that's not good whatsoever. And I think in terms of like advice for people, what would you say? What would you advise those that are struggling?
I think before advising them, there needs to be karbash. To be honest, like, honestly, Shatik, do you know how weak you are? Like how weak you must be to just one time when you feel the urge to do it. Yeah, fine. Put your phone there. Record yourself doing it. Yeah, just this
disgusting.
sounds mad, but record yourself doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then watch back that video and look how weak you are.
Yeah.
Just look how weak you are as a human
Yeah.
being. Like it's mad. Like that you feel like you need to do. Actually, fast. Get married. There's other things.
Yeah.
That's some of the advice I'd give.
Yeah.
How we started this conversation to begin with, this podcast, in terms of controlling your desires. There's many ways. If you're addicted, seek help.
Yeah, that's what I would advise
Yeah.
as well. It's like,
It's
there
okay,
should be no
yeah.
shame in going to speak to someone
Definitely.
with knowledge.
SubhanAllah, you mentioned that the moment you said knowledge, I'm not a person of knowledge, brother, so don't come to me asking for advice and stuff like that in terms of deen and whatnot. I can only base it off what I see and what I know. One brother had this exact same problem, and he asked me, what should I do and whatnot? And I said, bro, trust in Allah, like have sabr, be patient. And he said, but bro, I'm not gonna lie, between me and you, like my iman is not there. I said, okay, no problem. You're not gonna have that fear in Allah. I told him, I said, I had to put the fear of Allah into my heart. And I built that relation between me and Allah to the point where if I was about to commit a sin, whatever sin it was, I would remember Allah's watching me. I was like, if you don't have that, one simple thing you can do. Picture yourself dying in that state. If you're about to commit that act and you die in that state, let's say you don't really care about what Allah sees or what He thinks, but imagine your mum and dad walking on you and you're dead in that state. What are you going to do? How's your mum going to think of you? How's your dad going to perceive you? Let's say you have a little sister, for example. As brothers, like, we're meant to have this ghira, we're meant to have this protection over our sisters. Imagine your sister walks in on you.
I think there's so many things you can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
You make dua to Allah. Yeah. You fear Allah.
Yeah.
And if you don't fear Allah, then you need to seek knowledge, because through knowledge you'll begin to fear Allah.
Yeah.
There's the Muslim helplines. Like there are actually Muslim helplines that will help you. That will create plans for you. That will help you get through this addiction. You need to recognize it, but then don't just recognize it. Now act on trying to defeat it. There's so many things you can
have
do.
to discipline
Fast,
yourself.
get married.
Yeah.
I don't think marriage is an easy escape, by the way. I don't believe that if you have this addiction, run to marriage, I can, fulfill my desires, etc. I think that's an example of bringing baggage into your marriage.
I think what we're saying is that there's a solution to everything.
Yeah.
I think maybe what happens to some people is they go down that path where they think, I can't get married now because I'm not financially stable. But what happens is barakah comes with marriage.
Yes.
And another thing, as a man, is you become really encouraged and you become really determined and you're motivated after you get married to make more money, to become more stable. So if you are young and you are struggling and there is someone that you have in your life, do consider marrying them if they're the right person for you, and don't delay. And I think that can help resolve other issues that could come up from not getting married.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to sound like the biggest hypocrite here, and I don't mean it in that way. Inshallah, look, we're all three of us, excluding you, mean to get married. Anyway, we're here. But I remember, I think it was Ustad Abdul Wahid Stevenson.
What you need, every single one of you here has it. Your bank account will be empty now, it doesn't matter. But you all have the ability to earn money. Physically, legally, you're able to go and work and get a job. So you might not have it bil fi'l, in hand, but you have it bil quwwa, by physical ability. That being the case, that's why the hadith of the Mashraf was Ya Ma'shar al-Shabab, it's talked to Shabab, right? I.e. whoever's got the ability, i.e. he's old enough, baligh, above the age, the physical ability to go and earn money, then get married.
He said, when it comes to finances, don't wait till you're financially stable to get married, because you don't know when that will be. But if you have the ability to work,
Yeah, exactly.
then that's enough.
Yeah.
Because it's about the ability. You know, when you're married, you have that on your head now. I have to.
Sorry, I'm bracing it on me. I said I've got a salary. I'm getting married. That's it. That's literally what I
Yeah.
said.
Mm.
Like to the point where by I fully like I think I had a salary for about a month, and I got married.
SubhanAllah.
I was like, there's no delay. I'm gonna have money. That's it. Khalas, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Allah's a razaq. You have
Yeah.
to
You'll
trust in him
you'll
to
find
provide.
ways. You have to believe you'll find ways, and you have to believe Allah will provide, and
Yeah.
Allah will put barakah in your marriage, and Allah will put barakah in your money. Your risk is written for you. It will come. I saw a video or a picture today. It was, I can't remember if it's video or a picture. I was half asleep, but it was 2 cars parked next to each other. In the back of one car was hay, and the back of another car was a camel, and the camel just eating from the other car. And it's your rizq will never miss you.
Yeah.
It will never miss you. It will always come to you. I also heard actually on the, and I don't know how authentic or true this is, but I think it's still worth mentioning that when you're doing these sins, it can decrease your rizq. Is that right?
I can't say yes, but it sounds.
I've heard a
sounds
similar
like
thing.
it's,
I've heard a similar
Okay,
thing.
so
yeah.
list. I wouldn't quote it.
Yeah.
Someone needs to fact check it, but it's still something worth thinking about. Because if it is true, you're destroying yourself in that way as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a cycle of just destroying yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to break the
Yeah.
cycle.
How effective is self accountability in avoiding sins?
Oh,
do you want to go back to the previous question? I didn't answer it.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you wait for me to answer that? Why did you wait
No,
for
he
me to
literally
answer
said,
that?
I didn't answer.
he actually said it.
How many hours have I slept? You should know this.
Okay, I just because you know what it is because I just found something.
Ya Allah, Gran.
It was
Jannat
the-
al-Firdaus, me,
I mean,
Admin Faris, a wife.
Wait,
Um,
what?
wait,
Why don't we
wait,
get judges
wait,
for
wait.
I'm
those?
Jannat al-Firdaus.
I didn't hear the whole du'a. I'm saying, I mean,
Yeah, one sin and its impact on the Muslim community.
So this one I've got is materialism
That's why he wanted me to repeat. He's got
and
wild.
excessive spending. So Islam encourages a balanced approach to wealth, promoting charity, zakat, and sadaqah, and modest living. In contrast, materialism and consumerism are widespread, leading many to prioritize wealth and luxury over spiritual and community obligations. I remember seeing something online about a man that, alhamdulillah, Allah gave him a lot of wealth, right?
Yeah.
He would use his wealth to beautify his home. And it was an instance where he bought a really beautiful chandelier. And because of that chandelier, it made him late to the mosque because he was busy just admiring it, right? So after he noticed that chandelier made him late to the mosque, he just got rid of it straight away. But he just didn't want to keep materialism immediately in his heart. It's not to say that you can spend in this world, right? But it's to the point where it doesn't distract you for things that are way more important.
Obligations. yeah.
Obligations. You spoke about dhikr as well. I think it was Sulaiman alayhi salam that got rid of the horses because they were so beautiful in his eyes and they distracted him in the remembrance of Allah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was Sulaiman alayhi salam,
Yeah,
right?
Salam alaikum, yeah.
And did he get the horses beheaded, right?
I'm not too sure how he got rid of them, but I
Let's
know
say he got
them.
rid of the
Yeah,
horses,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's because he was seeing something that, again, it's the beauty of Allah, but it distracted him from what he was obliged to do. I think materialism is a massive issue. And I think it's become more prevalent over the last 10 years, maybe, especially with the younger generation. I'm thinking about when I see kids going to buy food, us capped at $2.50 a day, right? £2, 2 pieces of
we were
chicken.
talking about this.
I see these guys
Yeah.
getting these really nice, luxurious drinks, massive burgers and stuff like that, spending £15 a day. I'm thinking, I feel sorry for these parents because they're just constantly giving them money.
Yeah.
It's either that or these kids are making money somehow.
But just on that, Ayub,
Yeah, go ahead.
some food for thought.
Yeah, food. Yeah.
I want some food. I want food.
On that point, right?
go ahead.
So you say that kids are focusing on materialism and
Yeah.
they're overly spending.
Too much.
But at the same time,
yeah.
is that not what they're seeing?
Yes.
Yeah, oh,
You go on TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah,
whatever,
okay.
you see.
The wordplay, I'm loving it.
Yeah, that is what they say.
I'm gonna
Reel it
paddle
back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subhanallah, we did speak about this.
Reel it back in or paddle it away.
Paddle it away.
You lost me.
We literally spoke about it, subhanallah.
Shout out Paddle Quick.
Yeah, shout out paddle. We do run paddle sessions every month, and a portion of that money does go to charity. So inshallah, if you want to play paddle, Akhihood. We joked about as well. Said we live that Oggy and the cockroach lifestyle. Do you remember we spoke about that?
But you explain
That
that.
one, yeah. No, of course I'm not going to. We did speak about.
No, but who's Oggy and the cockroaches? You gotta explain
I'll
that.
search it, man. Google's there.
You don't know what, bro.
It's Oggy and the cockroach, man. It's the cartoon of them little cockroaches. The fat one, the skinny one, the medium one. So we did speak about how I would, like, for example, me growing up, I wasn't fortunate. Like financially, we weren't fortunate and stuff. But I would not change that for the world. And I have a friend, Sudanese brother. His name's Adam. He would tell me like,
But the name, but he didn't get the
yeah. He was
right
asking me,
ethnicity.
I wish like we didn't grow up. And I told him, I was like, bro, I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not change it for the world because it makes you who you are today. It makes you street smart. We spoke about being street smart. It makes you like vigilant. Do you know what I mean? You're aware of your surroundings and these things. You're a survivor. Me and you used to survive on pennies in uni. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We'd literally we'd scrape together change like 20p's or 30p's and see what meal it could get us. But I wouldn't change that for the world. If you offered me right now, go back in time and have money, wallahi, I wouldn't do it. Because it makes me who I am today. I'm not saying I'm the best of people, but it makes you a man. It toughens you up.
Yeah.
It's true.
So yeah, I
But
would.
you don't feel I don't care.
Because I feel like Adam's like, I will change it straight away.
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Okay.
So tell you what, I believe. So my mum used to give me £10 a week. Yeah, that's £2 a day, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, £10. £2 a day. I used to go to school £10. I used to come home like £80. Because business. It taught me how to hustle.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to go Tesco buy sweets upon sweets. But it goes to a
Chewits
point,
and-
my mum was on the business as well, bro. She used to come with me, buy some stock, and then I'd be selling
Right,
it.
this week I'm giving you £15.
Yeah, like, I'll be
So
selling
bring
it in
back
school.
160.
But just making money, alhamdulillah. And I'm not saying we were broke. To be honest, I never really felt us being broke, like massively. But when I look back at it, I'm like, okay, you know what? We didn't have crazy amounts of money, you know? I remember, you know, the key card when you had to top up £10 for your electricity and stuff. Like, I remember stuff like that growing up. So I wouldn't change it. I think it made me business-minded.
Yeah.
Like, I was 14. I used to go to the market with my older cousin. We used to wake up on a Saturday, 4 a.m., get there.
Car boot sound.
Yeah, no, not even proper stools.
Oh, wow.
Like, we'd go to our storage unit, load the vans up. It's 5 a.m. Leave, get to the marketplace 6 a.m. Start build. You have to build the stall first, bro. Like our metal, it's freezing. It used to be raining, snowing. Build the stall, put a cover over it, get your tables out, put your stock on it. It used to be like handbags, and I used to do watches. If you give me a watch, I can change all your links for you. Because I used to do it when I was 14. It's an Apple Watch, I don't count.
Okay.
But like that's what I was hustling for when I was 14, 15, 16. On my Saturdays, where was I? Come buy your bags, come buy your watches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's
but that's
good.
because, and I used to get, I think, £60 a day
Okay.
from working
I'm
from
not gonna lie,
4
you know, if I
a.m.
had £60 a day back then. Oh my.
No, but from working from
Spend it all
4
cheap
a.m.
as
Yeah,
well.
Brother.
4 a.m. I would get home at 6, 7, maybe 8 p.m.
Yeah.
£60 a day.
As a
I'm telling you,
14-year-old.
that's like slave, like child labor. Like that's something mad. But I loved it. My
But
food, my lunch
Because
would be
it
booked for me.
smartens you up and it toughens you up. as
Yeah,
well.
like,
Yeah.
bro, actually, I used to be so timid. Yeah, I used to not be confident at all. Now you put me in front of 100 people, I can speak.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak in front of 2 people before. Like,
You're an orator.
my uncle, I'm a what?
An orator.
He's an orator here.
It's okay. He thinks
That
he's in
was a
America.
stinker. That was a stinker.
But like it's.
Leave me alone, man.
But my uncle used to put me in the middle of the market and be like, "Listen, shout, bro. Otherwise, you ain't getting no sales."
Yeah, pound above,
He gave me
that
my
one.
own stall on the side, not pound above, bro. I already told you what it was for £1 fish. But anyway, he used to give me my own stall on the side,
Yeah.
just watches. He'd be like, whatever you make, you know. If you don't
Okay.
make no money, we got problems. I have to like think now, okay, I need to sell this many watches to cover the cost of the store. Then anything on top of that is the cost of the watches. Then anything on top of that is profit. Like, it teaches you to be a bit
Yeah.
business minded.
It smartens you up.
Yeah, so I
toughens you up,
wouldn't-
yeah.
To go
I
back
wouldn't
to what you
change it
said,
for
I wouldn't
anything,
change
yeah.
anything.
Again, it's value, isn't it? Like when
Yeah.
you don't have everything immediately, you appreciate it in the future,
Yeah.
and then appreciate the money. And another thing is time.
Yeah,
as
bro.
well.
At that time, I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I remember one time I called my mom crying on the phone. Like, oh, I want to go home. I don't want to be here at the market. Mom had to drive 1 hour, come pick me up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now looking back, you don't regret.
Now, if I look
Yeah.
at it, I'm like, why? I need to fix up, bro. Why
Yeah.
was I crying?
Yeah, it
for?
wasn't
What,
But
ideal.
see how that's
crying because I'm working.
You see how that's gonna be a cycle though, like with your own kids. And I think some people make a mistake. They either like spoil the kids too much after not being spoiled,
Mm.
or they do the right thing of not spoiling them when they weren't spoiling them themselves. And I think that's definitely important. And it's going to be a continuous cycle where you have offspring and progeny and children that value money, value time, are not spoiled and have good akhlaq, all these important things.
Yeah.
I just want to flag something I saw the other day. It was so annoying, yeah. Because you spoke about how it's what kids see today, right?
Yeah.
I saw a mum picking up her kid from school, and the kid's just like trying to get get her attention, constantly like saying "mama, mama," right? And the mum was just like on her phone, walking the whole time. I was like, that hurt me. Like I see this kid that just really wants the mum's attention, and I was thinking, dearie me, like, is this what we've come today? Yeah.
Episode 2, screen time. Being seen, go watch it.
Yeah.
We're bringing you.
And 1 and 2 and 3.
No, I'm saying it says stand up again.
Oh, crazy.
Okay, to the next question we go.
Yeah.
How effective is self-accountability in letting go of sins?
How effective is it?
Yeah, self-accountability.
I think that's the most effective thing. You have to
Yeah.
look at yourself first.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely look at yourself first.
Yeah.
Look
I,
at the
I
mirror.
hate people that,
Blame others, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So if you think of
Especially
any
as a
other,
man, just take responsibility.
think of
brother.
any other excuse apart from yourself.
I
Yeah.
hate it.
I think it's like complaining, is it? I don't like complainers either.
Yeah.
I hate
Moaners.
three
and-
things in
Yeah.
this world, yeah. Temporary traffic lights.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing? I hate temporary traffic
No, I
lights.
was gonna say a third
A
one.
man that cries. When I don't mean physically crying, yeah. Cry as
just
much as you want, you
moans
know.
and-
But like moaning.
Yeah.
Hey, the third thing I can't say on this podcast.
Come George.
Simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
But temporary traffic lights.
yeah.
But
And
men that-
liars. I can't
men,
stand liars.
men
as
that
well.
moan. Yeah, I don't like liars.
Yeah.
But that's not the third. The third, I'll tell you.
Make
Later.
I think it's
fourth.
like moaning without doing anything about it.
Yeah, like
It's
just,
like your first reaction is, oh no, but that's annoying. It's
yeah.
like,
It's not my fault. The train was late. Could you have left earlier? It's not my
Yeah.
fault. Oh, I only slept 1 hour.
Even if
you
you
slept earlier.
even if you were late, don't.
That was at
yeah.
you.
Even if you were late, but don't cry about it.
You know,
Yeah,
my
complaining
my
about
my. I told you the story yesterday, and inshallah, you guys will meet the sheikh on next Saturday.
Inshallah.
I was speaking with him yesterday, and he told me a story that he learned from his teacher. Because we were talking about toughness and when it comes to leadership, how do you manage between being soft on someone and being a bit harsh on someone? How do you find the balance? And he told me a story that his sheikh, he had an appointment. Let's just say 3:00. He turned up at 3:05. His sheikh was there. He said, "You're here now?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, assalamu alaikum." Sheikh left.
ooh.
You know, when you told me this yesterday,
5
I was
minutes.
deep in it for a very long
5
time.
minutes is a long time.
5 minutes.
I was
That's
deep
exactly
in
what
it
he
for
said.
a
5 minutes is a
very
long
long
time.
time.
5 minutes, yeah. To me, 5 minutes is
Sorry,
nothing.
Sheikh.
But to me, 5 minutes is not. He was younger back
Yeah,
then.
of course.
To me, 5 minutes is nothing. Yeah, 5 minutes late. It happens, innit? Traffic, whatever. He said he learned a lot from that one lesson. He learned so much because the sheikh gave him like big, harsh words. Not in terms of swearing, nothing like that. The sheikh never spoke
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course.
But in terms of, he said, when you're a leader of this ummah and you're 5 minutes late to dealing with a calamity, imagine how many people suffered because of that.
Mm.
He said, and I look at the Akhihood team. I'm not saying we're massive leaders of this ummah, but we're definitely in the community, 100%. You know, Akhihood, alhamdulillah, has got to that point where, you know, people are looking at you. Now, if you're coming 5 minutes late to a podcast, for example, it doesn't show a good example. When you're coming 5 minutes late to an event that you've organized, what kind of example does that show? Imagine something's.
Sorry, I just thought of golf.
Yeah, I know, I came late, but I didn't organize it. He did.
I was there on
Okay.
But
time.
and he was there. But
I'm lying
but it's
back.
true. But it's true though. Imagine, look, but a problem did happen at golf,
Yeah.
and we were late. Okay, it was my fault, definitely.
It's not your fault. It's Map's fault.
Nah,
I don't
yeah,
blame you.
accountability again. I could, if I had planned my route better, I would have known the turn. You know.
Yeah.
But we were late. A problem did happen at golf.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, there was enough Akhihood members there to solve it. He was there, you were there, Abdullah was there.
Yeah.
There was enough brothers there to, you know, fix the problem. But a problem did happen. Imagine these guys weren't there. I'm 5 minutes late. Calamities happen now. That's because I missed those 5 minutes. I wasn't holding myself accountable.
Yeah,
It's
It's a knock-on effect.
yeah,
isn't it?
simple things like this. But when the sheikh told me this, that, you know, the teacher just left, for me, that was big as well. Like, 5 minutes.
That's a lesson. Just
You know, when you
Yeah,
told me
get
that
something.
yesterday, I was deep in it. Like, even when we jumped off court, I was deep in it. I was like, because you know, if you told that to like your everyday Joe, and he'd be like, "It's only 5 minutes, man. It's not that deep." He exaggerated. Nah, It's about respect. How can that sheikh now respect your time and your honesty? Like, if you give your word as a man, if you give your kalam as a man, and you don't respect, you don't arrive on time, how can I trust you now?
It's not like he just heard the story. The shit, you all know about Somali timing, innit? Somali time is mad. Like, I thought Pakistani time was bad until I met Somalis. But the sheikh, I had an appointment with him, 1:30. 1:31 came through. He's like, "Why you not in my office? Like, it's time. I was waiting in the other room, but he's like, it's time, like, on time. Because he gave his word. And he's the one that said as well, you give your word, you break it, you've now broken a promise, you've now made a lie as well. That's 2 sins. But I went off. Was that clear accountability?
Is there
it's
a
accountability.
relationship between accountability and niyyah, the intentions?
There can be, I think.
I'd say so. Yeah.
So would you say in the story that you just said, the brother that was late, do you think he made his intentions correct from the beginning, or do you think it's just a situation where,
You would like to
He
assume he
presumed
did.
it'll be fine.
you
like,
would
Yeah.
like to
it's only
assume.
Yeah,
5
I
minutes,
couldn't say.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
But you'd assume so. Like,
that his
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to say if his intentions were. I couldn't. I don't know. What's in his heart and what, like, I don't know. But I do think what you're saying, there is sometimes a correlation between the two.
'Cause
Definitely.
I feel like the only people that are accountable are people that have good intentions from the beginning. If you've, like we've already said, if you give your word to something and you fall through with it, then
you have to prioritize that.
yeah.
But do you think sometimes it's not even about the intentions weren't correct? It's just laziness sometimes, or
Yeah.
just they slack a little bit.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think
I agree.
you have to have certain principles that you follow. So all of these things will be resolved if you're good at timekeeping, you're organized, and
Communication.
Yeah.
communication, and you respect people's time. So it's like all of those things just can constitute whether or not you're going to be 5 minutes late to appointment or not. And if you are organized, you do respect people's time, you do communicate, then you'll be alright with timekeeping. You won't be late, and if you were to be late, he would have potentially been able to communicate that to the sheikh. Sheikh, I'm like half an hour before you could have said, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. I hope this is still okay. See you soon, inshallah. That's it.
Yeah.
Depends on the sheikh. It might be like, nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, it's just, just the principles that you need to follow that are really important.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up now. The final question:
I don't want it to wrap it up.
do you want to pay for another hour?
I'm trying to say it's been good.
I've enjoyed it. Alhamdulillah. What's one step we can all take to counteract the normalization of sins within ourselves and within the community? I'm built different when it comes to these questions. These questions are solid. I'm sorry, I have to say it. These questions are good.
Take advice on the
I'm
chin.
joking.
I know. I'm trying to bring it back in.
What did he say?
H and the number 8.
Hate that. I think
Not joking. Yeah.
be able to take advice on the chin. It's a
How-
bit different.
Yes, but okay, fair enough. But
No, sorry.
how would
that's
you-
my answer?
Faris-
Okay, wait, what's your question? Wait, repeat your question.
no, you got the question, but I'm saying elaborate on that.
I was going to, but
Yeah,
you
okay.
interrupted me.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. No, what was the question?
Counteracting the normalization of sins within ourselves. Within
Yeah,
the
be able to
community.
take advice on the chin.
Yeah.
I definitely, when your friends advise you and tell you that, bro, what you're doing is wrong, backbiting's wrong.
Yeah.
Let's not gossip now. Let's not do this.
So
Take it on the chin. Don't be like, oh, it's not that deep, or, bro, be quiet, man.
be a man.
Like, be a man, yeah, okay, fine, but take it on the chin. Like, just to hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
The best of friends. Yeah, I know you're thinking about that Abu Taymiyyah video.
The best of friends are those who really go out their way to advise you. Sometimes we look at these people as enemies, صح? Whether it may be a relative, a sibling, we look at them as the enemies. لا يا أخي. Your true friend is the one who advises you and tells you, يا أخي, you shouldn't be doing this. Takes you by the side, takes you to the side, takes you by the hand, advises you, يا أخي, you shouldn't be doing this. Try and move away from it. This is the true friend, brothers and sisters.
But the best of friends are those that go out of their way to advise you.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to take that advice. And if you're not able to take that advice, you're going to get to a dangerous point in your life where people don't want to advise you. And then you're finished.
Yeah, I remember attending a khutbah once. It was
Just
a Friday
once?
khutbah. Sorry?
He said
He
that's
said
nice.
just once.
Okay.
I thought you said that's nice.
I remember.
I thought you said that's nice.
I remember.
rude.
attending one specific khutbah one day, and the sheikh said, if you have love for your brother and you care for him, then you tell him if he's got a crumb in his face. So I hope you remember that. Right? No, honestly, wallah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I was like, because I realized, I was like, sometimes you see someone, he might have something on his face and stuff like that. You disregard. He might have something on his shoulders. Oh, it's fine. But you could have just told them, you've got something on your face. You've got something on your shoulder. You've got crust in your eyes. You got whatever it is, right? You would just tell them for the sake of it, for that love that you might have for them, or just genuine care.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think
SubhanAllah, speaking
just
about
just on that, there's a
I
hadith
feel
like love for yourself or you love for your brother.
don't be discouraged from advising someone. Even if you've advised 100 people and those 100 people have rejected you, there will be that one person that accepts it. And inshallah, Allah will reward you for advising that brother. And he avoids a sin. Do you know what I mean? So always advise each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Don't think, oh, I don't want to be a hypocrite by advising. Just advise your brother.
Yeah.
You never know, that person might need it. He's never heard it. So yeah, just literally what you said. Take the advice on the chin, man. Be a man about it. Be a man about it.
Good way to summarize.
Yes, sir.
If you made it this far, Jazakallah khair. But also,
Jazakallah khair.
we have just
Jazakallah
hit,
khair.
alhamdulillah, £14,000 raised for.
Nah, delete that.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But anyway, we just
W's.
chill. We just raised £14,000, alhamdulillah, to help build a school in the Gambia. We have a big target of trying to hit £20,000 by the end of Ramadan.
Inshallah.
This
we'll be
can
there.
only be achieved with your lot's help. So please donate using the link below. Join our socials, or follow us on our socials. Join our group chats. Come to our events. Inshallah, we look forward to seeing you, not behind the screen, but in person. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Let us know you want more. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.